Welcome back to the IBSP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Too fast and too smart? Look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And Aegis Kavalauskas, Mean Machine, a former opponent of Terence Bud Crawford, has come out in an interview stating that he's picking Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez. And he states, and I quote, "I think Terence Crawford is too fast and too smart for Canelo Alvarez." He says, taking nothing away from Canelo, but the weight doesn't matter. Now, I find that a very interesting statement that he says the weight doesn't matter. Now, the only way the weight could not matter in this fight is if Terence Crawford is too slick, too fast to get caught or hit by anything Canelo Alvarez is throwing. So that's a very interesting point, and this adds to yet another fighter in the long list of fighters that are picking Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez and make history at 168 pounds. Now, what's interesting is when you look back at what Terence Crawford's own trainer stated that, hey, the game plan for Canelo Alvarez is going to be a boring game plan. It's a lot of tactical boxing and lots of movement. This is what Bomac said about his game plan for Canelo Alvarez. So if you're expecting the Terence Crawford that fought Errol Spence, you're not going to get that Terence Crawford. If you're looking for a Terence Crawford that's going to go in and look for a knockout, you're not getting that Terence Crawford. The Terence Crawford you're going to get is a Terence Crawford that's constantly looking to hit and to move. That is the Terence Crawford that's coming to fight. Now, what's also interesting is Terence Crawford said that he is only worried about two things: Canelo Alvarez's power and his size. He's not worried about Canelo's skills. He's not worried about Canelo Alvarez's defense. He's not worried about Canelo Alvarez's IQ, only his power and his size. So you see, that's very interesting that Bud Crawford, who's going to have a reach advantage, a speed advantage, and a height advantage, is only worried about Canelo Alvarez's power and size. He said those are the only two things he has to worry about, simply because he's going to be moving, using his reach, keeping Canelo at bay, keeping away from him, and countering him anytime he tries to come in and hit him. So that's going to be very interesting for Terence Crawford, and it's clear that Terence Crawford has come to box a very tactical match against Canelo Alvarez. But it's also shaping up, according to Canelo Alvarez's own sparring partners, when you look at who he's selecting to spar with, is that Canelo Alvarez is expecting a moving target. Think about this. Canelo Alvarez is sparring with Darrell Valsaint. Now, this guy's from 154 pounds. Now, what's interesting about this guy is Canelo Alvarez, when he spars, he normally spars much bigger opponents. Big, strong, bulky guys that's going to be able to hit hard, absorb shots. But that's not who Canelo's sparring with for this matchup. He's expecting a very fast, active, moving opponent. And that's why he brought in this young man. The guy's in his early 20s. He's a 154-pound fighter, just like Terence Crawford. He's a southpaw, just like Terence Crawford. He's undefeated, and he has a very long reach. So all of these things match up to what you're going to be looking for: speed, southpaw, reach, all of that, which is the perfect sparring partner for Canelo Alvarez. He's preparing for Terence Crawford to move. He's preparing for that speed. And that's not his only sparring partner. Another sparring partner for Canelo Alvarez is Yo Sub Shin. Now, he's very interesting. He's actually a welterweight, so he's even smaller. He's fighting at 147 pounds. His speed is a key point of his game. Instead of a southpaw, he's an orthodox fighter, because Canelo Alvarez needs to prepare for both stances. And he also has a reach advantage, a speed advantage, a height advantage on Canelo, just like Bud Crawford. So Canelo Alvarez is preparing for a moving target, a very fast Terence Crawford. And it's starting to look like this fight is going to come down to if Canelo can cut off the ring.